The concept of fractals is one of the most beautiful ones that we work with, because it is actually maybe the biggest mystery of this world, because understanding a fractal is what gives you the true power of your being, which gives you access to your true power. Once you understand how your little steps and how your little choices and your little actions actually do mean a lot in the whole picture. So a fractal, just to clarify the term, a fractal is an image that we, like, in order to draw a fractal, to build one, we will have to take one equation, and this one equation we will need to solve a number of times. It's the same equation in which we only change the initial number, initial data, input data. So basically, I wish I would have something to draw on, but if, for example, a spiral, to draw a spiral, we take an equation and we solve it. If we solve it properly, correctly, we put the first dot on, this is like on axis xy, z. We will have to put the first dot, like we solve the equation, we put the first dot. Then we take the same equation again, starting from that dot. Now we solve the same equation, and so the next dot will be a little bit further out, like to draw a spiral. So you all can imagine how the spiral opens up, it grows. So in order to draw the full image, you will have to solve the same equation quite a number of times. And like, if we take this idea back to our lives and we take an example of dealing with a specific emotion, for example, betrayal, as I talked about in the previous video. Betrayal, once we solve this equation properly, once we get the first dot of the fractal. When we solve it again the second time, we can put, it's the same equation, just with a little bit different input data. It's the next step of our evolution. We are a little bit more evolved. We're dealing with the same equation again. Then we evolve a little bit more. Then we deal with the same equation again. Then we evolve a little bit more, like with each step. What changes is the input data changes very slightly every time, but the equation stays the same. So every time we make a dot on this drawing, it becomes more and more and more complex. What happens in life usually? We get tired of solving the same equation or a number of times, and we, instead of giving the right answer, we start going in opposite direction. We basically don't give the right answer for the equation. For example, let's say the right answer to an equation of betrayal is to let it go, accept, allow, for example. And we feel hurt or rejected or whatever. So every time we deviate from this beautiful spiral drawing, we feel more and more disconnected from the purpose of like this whole thing. And at certain point we might just find ourselves sitting and questioning the purpose of this life, and why am I so unlucky, and why does everyone just betray me, and I will not forgive anyone anymore, I will not let anyone close to myself anymore, because I don't want to deal with betrayal anymore, so that I will just close away from everyone so that I cannot be hurt anymore. So that's a wrong solution to the equation. You just block this whole thing. The picture just stops evolving. It just stops growing there. So you just block, okay, I'm not gonna forgive anymore, I'm not gonna allow anymore, I'm not gonna care anymore, I'm not gonna love anymore, I'm not gonna try anymore. So once you feel this resistance, you block the progress, and so the image stops building up. So the advice of this whole system is to just keep doing the same thing. Just keep solving the same equation, like keep forgiving just one more time, and my students will come to me telling like, come on, I've forgiven him so many times already, but he keeps doing the same thing. And when I tell them to just forgive one more time, just keep forgiving just one more time, and they were like, okay, is this the last time I need to forgive him? I'm like, if you're asking this question, it means you're not anywhere close to the ending of this equation. You're not passing the test. Once you have, like, you can actually tell on which level of solving the pattern the person is by the questions that this person is asking. So if you are still suffering and you're forgiving but sacrificing yourself for it, so you're somewhere still far from the seeing the image. But what happens when you forgive enough, like sufficient number of times? Once you solve the equation, given equation, whatever it is, once you solve it like sufficient number of times, what happens is that your perception shifts. Your perception shifts from that density, from that level of the dimension at which you were solving the problem. You shift from that dimension and you suddenly are able to perceive the beauty of this fractal that you have just created, and you understand the beauty of this pattern of forgiving. And that's when you solve it. But in order to see the whole pattern, you have to solve the equation sufficient number of times so that your perception shifts, so that you can have this overview and see the beauty of, oh, okay, now I got the point. Now I understood what caring is, or what acceptance is, or what abundance is, or what love is, blah, blah. So basically, that is the whole idea behind patterns and fractals in our life. And it is interconnected with many other concepts, but I will try to separate them, break them down separately so that it's easier to digest them. So the fractal is the beauty, what builds the natural beauty of our life, but we are able to see that beauty only once we fully enter the game, once we fully commit to the game, to solving each pattern sufficient number of times. Just keep doing it until the moment when it all snaps into place and you see the overview. Does it stop then? No. As if you have ever seen fractals, once you finish one part, you suddenly realize that it is a small part of something bigger, and then you keep solving that same equation again and again and again, just on another level already. That beautiful part of fractal you are able to observe already. Good. Your evolution continues on that next level, on that next frequency that you've just shifted to. So in a new dimension, you will keep solving same equations, but you will be you'll be drawing a bigger fractal now, and the story will repeat as many times as eternity will allow. So I'll see you again on my channel with other topics. I hope you enjoyed.